we couldn't do any of this without community voice. One, it is also baked into the philosophy, framework, and approach of the Village of Arts and Humanities. Like that is how they function, how they operate. It is tried and true, like it is a value of theirs. And so we couldn't have done this project without pulling in intergenerational cross-sector voices and making sure that we had quote unquote literacy experts, right? Like folks who understand the science of reading. We had a assistant, excuse me, assistant middle school, elementary school principal on the team. We had a literacy expert for Read by Fourth. And then we had folks who'd raised kids in the neighborhood and taught their own kids how to read. So we really wanted to make sure that there were a number of voices from at various phases. But we also knew we couldn't get them to use any of these tools unless they were a part of it. And I think that is always the most important piece. If you want folks to use something, they have to understand why are they being asked to use it. And before you even get to that, or as part of that is, well, how can I contribute to how it's being used so that I then really own it, feel it, believe it? So I just think it was critical to how the village operates, but how I think also how I function as a facilitator and leader. Yeah, I can't imagine that we would have had the kind of success we had if folks weren't involved at various stages. I will also say, when involving community, it's also really important to be clear about how you're going to use their information. So when we were brainstorming, we were saying, it's great that we've got 15 concepts for the letter R, but we're going to have to whittle it down from 15 to 8. So being really clear about how we're using people's intellectual property, how we're using their stories, and then making sure we're sharing that information back with them, that we're not just stealing those ideas and then they never know what happens to that information. And I believe we did that successfully at each stage of the project, ultimately resulting in these incredible tools and strategies throughout the neighborhood.